Thank you. And thank you. I'm glad to be joined by my colleague, Assemblymember Suchi, who's been one of the leaders on retail theft for a number of years and has been really highlighting this issue. And I want to thank the members of the California Contract Cities Association for inviting me to speak and the partnership. It's really a pleasure to be here with Mayor Gold and Vice Mayor Pro Tem Erickson, as well as Chelsea Byers, who are members of the council and leaders in the districts within my own district. I represent the 51st District, and I'm the Democratic Caucus Chair for the California Assembly. My district spans from the Santa Monica Pier to the Los Angeles Zoo. It includes all of Hollywood, including Hollywood Hills and East Hollywood. I'm also chair of the Select Committee on Retail Theft, a bipartisan committee that was formed by Speaker Rivas to provide a forum for impacted stakeholders, which include large retailers, small businesses, workers, criminal justice reform advocates, law enforcement, members of the public, and city leaders. Retail crime, which encompasses shoplifting, commercial burglary, and commercial robbery, including force, is a crisis across the nation and here in California. But its impact is particularly acute in areas of California, most notably but not exclusively in the San Francisco Bay Area, the Central Valley, and Los Angeles County, with my district being particularly hard hit. I applaud Governor Newsom for recognizing the gravity of this issue by investing over millions of dollars in combating organized retail crime, and I know that Beverly Hills was the recipient of one of the grants to try to help focus on this issue. Our offices are working closely to identify and pursue smart and effective solutions through a legislative package this year. I've also been working closely with the new chair of the Public Safety Committee, Assemblymember Kevin McCarty. We're hoping to host a joint hearing of both the Public Safety Committee and the Select Committee on Retail Theft, the next one being in Los Angeles. Since taking office more than a year ago, I've received countless calls expressing strong concern and outrage over the incidents that people are seeing across the state. It is probably the one issue that equals and may even exceed concerns that our constituents are raising about the unhoused crisis that we're facing. I know many of you have experienced the inconvenience of having to call someone over to unlock a cabinet that has the shampoo or the detergent, or perhaps, like so many of you, decide not to wait and choose to buy your items online instead. Addressing retail crime is not a one-size-fits-all problem and will likely require a multi-pronged approach and solutions. We must ask ourselves the hard question as to why this is happening and what we as legislators, city leaders, and members of the community can do about it, and what solutions are going to be effective. How can we hold repeat offenders accountable without unraveling more than a decade of work of criminal justice reform advocates, which have tried to make sure that we're not putting people in prison for very small items? What can we do to give law enforcement the tools they need to increase the likelihood of apprehension? How do we get to organized crime rings, target fencing operations, and shut down their distribution channels, both online and offline? What we have before us is no easy task. Retail crime is an emotional issue for many of our constituents. Business owners feel fear for their livelihoods, workers fear for their well-being, and members of the public worry that it may no longer be safe or convenient to frequent their neighborhood stores. And when the largest retailers abandon an area because of theft and growing costs of retail crime, it also impacts locally owned businesses as well, as the anchor of a shopping center or a retail area move away. They lose the foot traffic, and that also affects the small businesses. You know, in my life and career, I've come to understand that we tend to agree on more than we do not. Our families want the same things, the same opportunities, and the same shot at the American dream. It is beyond time to move past the political divisions and get back to working together to solve this problem. I believe the future is bright if we can do that. The Select Committee on Retail Crime will continue to work with the Governor's Office, the Speaker's Office, the Public Safety Committee, as well as city leaders to explore solutions that will actually work. As we listen to all stakeholders, there are a number of areas that I know we must focus on. One, a number of approaches that we need to make sure that the approaches that we take are based on data and are effective. The data shows that what's most important to deter crime of all types, but including retail crime, is the certainty of apprehension and making sure that there's a consequence for those actions. Therefore, that we know that enforcement of our laws, including enforcement of misdemeanor laws, is a key component of the solution. Second, we've been told, and in many areas, that there are a small number of retail thieves that are responsible for a large portion of the retail crimes. Therefore, there must be a focus on how to prevent and target professional organized retail rings and that's a key focus of our committee. Third, the issue of strengthening our laws that allow our law enforcement partners to target those having participated in repeated offenses and crimes is a key area as well. And finally, we need to shut down distribution channels for stolen goods. And we know that a large portion of these goods are distributed through online retailers, and cracking down on that is also a key. I'd like to close by applauding the governor for prioritizing this fight against retail theft, and we've been working closely with him on his package and ours. I'd also like to thank Speaker Rivas for forming the Select Committee on Retail Theft. The Assembly is committed to addressing this important problem and is ready to work with Governor Newsom and city leaders to protect workers, customers, and small businesses and keep our communities safe. And I'm confident that together, and with all of these our elected leaders that are really dealing with this at the local level, that we will find the effective solutions and protect our neighborhoods and hold professional criminals and repeat offenders accountable. So I want to thank you all for being here today, for partnering with us and really working with us as we tackle this problem.